Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your love and romance reading for September 2022. This reading is for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. A lot of people like to check out their Venus sign when it comes to love. So in the love readings, we always include the Venus folk. Don't forget to check out the other videos on my channel where I talk about everything other than love. Once a month I do a love reading. That's what this is here. But we're going to connect and see what message is coming up for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus around love and romance. You might see this video way after September. You may see it 6 months from now. You're going to see it whenever you're meant to see it, and that's fine. You're going to see it when you're meant to hear it. Keep in mind it's a general reading. Not every single message is going to resonate, and that's okay. Take what does, leave what doesn't. Without further ado, my dears and my darlings, let's get right on into it. And the first card coming up here for love and romance for the Sagittarius collective is the Page of Swords. Some of you could be dealing with a younger or a youthful, like somebody who's young at heart or youthful in spirit, air sign person. And so that could be a Libra, Aquarius, or a Gemini. This could also be a situation where you're being encouraged to speak up. Like if you're in a relationship and you're having concerns, or there's something that you're not sure about, or it's not clear to you, or making you uncomfortable, sometimes the Page of Swords comes up for me because you need to speak up in a situation. So sometimes this card is saying, hey, you got to be direct, you got to be clear, you got to make your feelings and your needs known in a situation. Page of Swords can also come up in a love reading as a word of caution. And it's happened to me several times in personal readings, like in private readings, where I got this vibe from the card. And the person told me, oh, Amethyst, no. Oh, there's no way. I'm so careful about that kind of thing. And trust me, no. And then later, like months later, they email me and they're like, remember that reading when the Page of Swords came up? Oh my gosh, it turned out to be true. So sometimes I see Page of Swords come up. And Page of Swords came up from one of the other signs, and I didn't get that vibe for them. But I'm getting the vibe here that some of you Sagittarius have this situation. Sometimes Page of Swords comes up for me because there's someone who is just like obsessing about you. They have to know what you're doing. They have to know what you're up to. And oftentimes it's somebody that we've already cut out, right? It could be a friend who meddles too much. It could be an ex, but oftentimes it's somebody that we've just been like, look, like, I don't need to know you. You don't need to know me. Bye. Have a nice life. And they create these fake profiles online, and they find a way to get into your social media, like to be on your friends list or whatever it's called, and see what you're posting and see what you're up to, and you don't even know. You think that that person is gone. And so the Page of Swords sometimes comes up to say, be cautious what you're posting online, and be cautious what you're sharing in the DMs with strangers. I've told this story before. I have an ex who did not want me to move on. And so when I was dating online, he was really good at creating these fake profiles, and knew like what's right up my alley, like like he knows like what I'm gonna like. And he would just try to string me along, or he would try to get me into these online relationships where like we don't meet or we don't get together. But for him it was like, well, it's good because she's busy with this fake account, so I know that she's not going to be getting to know somebody else, or she's not going to get out there again. It was just a way to buy time. So some of you need to be careful that like what you're sharing with people, or you're talking to somebody online, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like my dream person. Well, hold on. Hold on until you're able to confirm this person is really who you're talking to. You're able to meet in a public place where it's safe, at a safe time of day, or video chat or something, like you're able to make sure that this person is for real. Because sometimes the Page of Swords is people might be making these fake online accounts or personas to find out what's happening in your life, or to try to keep you from moving on. So it's not going to be for every single one of you. Sometimes this also comes in with like a word of caution, about your whereabouts, okay? So I know, in some of you might not be on social media, but those of you who are, I know that we want to share the exciting things happening in our life, and we want to be like, oh, I'm here, I'm out on a date with like the new boo, or like a bae, or whatever the kids say these days. Like you might be wanting to like check in at places and tag people, and the Page of Swords might say, look, it's best to do that when you've left that place, right? If you're at the cool new restaurant on 12th Street and you want to, show pictures and check in there, wait until you leave that restaurant on 12th Street before you post, oh, here I am, because we might be giving someone the opportunity to show up and make trouble or make drama. So sometimes the Page of Swords is just saying, be cautious, be cautious, and know that there may be someone out there who's trying to keep tabs, or trying to meddle, and we don't want to help them keep tabs. We don't want to help them meddle. We don't want to make that a possibility for them. The next card that's coming up here for you all is the Two of Wands. Two of Wands can be choices and decisions. It could also be partnerships. But Two of Wands coming in with the Page of Swords is giving me a super, super clear message for Sagittarius. Some of you who follow me might remember me talking about the Two of Wands in the past. And having the two, and I want to say something here real quick. Two of Wands gets a bad rap in love readings because a lot of readers, they see Two of Wands and immediately they're like, ooh, third party situation. Ooh, they're caught between you and somebody else. That's not always the case. And that's not the meaning of Two of Wands. Two of Wands is weighing decisions, weighing your choices, partnerships. It's looking at all angles of a situation. It's not automatically, ooh, somebody's cheating. So I really want to emphasize that. Two of Wands, it's like you have to make a choice and you have to weigh like the pros and cons of a situation. But to have the Two of Wands coming up with the Page of Swords, there's an element of this card, and some of you have heard me say it before. You may be in a situation where you have certain expectations. And if you don't communicate clearly, they're going to be very mistaken. And then you're going to get in this situation and you're going to be upset and disappointed and disillusioned. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. This isn't what I thought they meant. And then we're upset and we don't want anything to do with it. Meanwhile, this could have been a wonderful arrangement or relationship or partnership if we had communicated clearly. And so what the Two of Wands coming in with the Page of Swords is saying is ask questions. You might be getting to know somebody and they might say, oh, I want to take it slow. And you might say, yeah, me too. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not trying to move in with somebody in 3 weeks. I'm not trying to get, married and elope on the first date. Like, yeah, sure, I want to go slow too. And your idea of going slow may be just kind of like you're going to get to know each other. You're not going to rush into things. But you might think that you guys are only getting to know each other. Meanwhile, this other person could have the mindset of like friends with benefits kind of situation. That's their idea of going slow. And they might have that arrangement with other people. And by going slow, how slow is slow? Right? Like, what do you think is a good time frame for somebody before they're able to figure out, before they're able to see enough if they like you or not? Like how much time do you feel needs to go by before you're able to know that this is someone you can see a future with, or this is somebody you want to be with? And by going slow, is that exclusive, Or does that mean that we're getting to know other people, we're talking to other people? Ask questions. Or if someone says, oh, you know, marriage is really important to me, my end game is marriage, I really want to get married, and you're like, oh my gosh, me too. You know, it's really important to me that like the husband and wife have a good marriage, and you know, they work together well. Well, what does that mean to you? What does marriage mean to you? What does marriage look like to you? What are your expectations? What does the husband do? What does the wife do? What is your idea of a successful or happy marriage? You have to ask people to define things or explain to you what it means, because your idea might be very different than somebody else's idea. So this way we can set down boundaries. This way we can say, oh, well, that's not going to work for me. And that person knows, okay, here's an area where if I want to be with Sagittarius, I've got to make some changes within myself, or I've got to learn to open up my mind. And that way you can get this stuff cleared out before getting into a relationship and now you're arguing and you have drama. You can avoid that. The next card coming in here for you all is the Page of Pentacles. So we've got a couple of pages here. There could be situations involving children for some of you. Maybe some of you are debating on having kids, or you're debating on whether or not you want to be a step parent, or you're debating on whether or not you're ready for this person to be around your kids. If you have kids from a previous relationship, you're like, I don't know if it's time to bring the kids into this or not. Or you might be debating, you know, how involved do you want this person to be? You might be trying to figure out, like, do I want them to take a hands-on approach? Do I want them to step in like a parent and, you know, lecture the kids or discipline the kids? Or is it making me uncomfortable? Is it making me feel like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, these are my kids? You know, like, hold off there. Maybe talk to me before you correct them about something, or talk to me about how you're going to correct them about something. So there could be factors around kids for some of you, and I feel like the Page of Swords is saying you need to talk to this person about it before it gets out of hand, before you get really upset, or you go off, because they might not know. And the other thing about the Page of Swords is, like, you need to be direct. Maybe you think you're hinting at something or you're implying at something. They're not going to get it. You need to be direct. Page of Pentacles could also be a youthful or playful earth sign person. Some of you maybe are trying to decide between an air sign and an earth sign. Earth sign would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Page of Pentacles is also like investing our time and our energy and things that are going to be worthwhile. So some of you may be kind of looking at relationships in this way. Like, you might be dating in a more efficient way, or you might be dating in a way where you're like, okay, this person's going someplace. This person seems to be serious. This person's not just kind of playing around, or, you know, like, you're looking at, like, what's going to be worth your while, what's going to be worth your investment. The next card that's coming up here for you all is the Chariot. So there could be Cancer energy here for some of you. Cancer sun, moon, rising, or Venus. If you have placements or Cancer in any houses, there could be big changes or big shifts happening for you in those areas of your life, or in those houses, that are opening you up to meet somebody significant, or opening you up to love. The Chariot can also be a card about movement, travel. I know that there's been times that, or there was a time that this is a card that kept coming up around somebody that I was dealing with, and then it ended up being like taking a road trip to meet this person's family. There could be something like that for some of you. Maybe there's a road trip coming up, specifically a road trip to meet somebody's family, or to look at different cities or places that maybe you might be considering moving to or settling down or getting a fresh start. Chariot, though, you guys have heard me say that this is a card that makes me think of the quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And the quote that it makes me think of is when he said, "Once we make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen." So sometimes I see the Chariot card come up when we're feeling stuck, like we're not stuck, but like not sure. Maybe not sure is a better way of saying it. We're not sure how we want to move forward in a situation, and we're not sure what we should, quote unquote, like should be doing. And so we're like, okay, angels, okay, guides, show me what I'm supposed to be doing, show me who I'm supposed to be with, and, give me a sign. But when the Chariot card comes up, your life lesson here is learning to exercise free will. Because in previous lifetimes, maybe in this lifetime, you were never really given choices. You were never given a chance to go for what you want. It was just more kind of like, okay, well, you know what? You get what you get and you don't get upset. Or you get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. And the life lesson here is like, no, you get to choose, you get to decide. And your angels and guides do not have permission in this situation to override your free will. Sometimes our free will gets overrided. Ooh, does it sometimes? I could tell you stories from my own personal experience. Sometimes our angels and guides will override our free will, and we don't have much of a choice in the situation. But that's only when it's like matters of protection, or things having to do with life path, soul purpose, contracts. But as far as in this instance in your love life, in this instance, Sagittarius, your angels and guides don't have permission to intervene, and they don't have permission to make the choice for you. But once you decide, they're going to step up and help you. They're going to step up and they're going to open that door. They're going to help you through it. They're going to help you on the journey. They just can't pick the person for you. So some of you are having to choose between different options or different partners. The next card that's coming up here for you all is the Ace of Swords. And Ace of Swords is victory, overcoming challenges, finding solutions. It's also a card when we might be laying down some kind of an agreement, right? We may be talking to somebody and we may be putting labels. We may be putting time frames. We may be clarifying expectations. This is how it's going to work. This is how it's going to be. And so there may be a lot of talk about the future and about expectations, and so you're going into something very clearly knowing. You're going into something very clearly knowing how it's gonna work out, or when you're going to be able to sit down and revisit certain issues or decisions. It's not going to be up in the air. It's not going to be like, well, we'll just wait and see, and we're just la la la. We don't know what's going on. Like a very clear plan for the future, very clear schedule for the for the future here with this person. Okay, Ace of Swords could also be a lot of you are clearing away false beliefs or limited thinking that has held you back or blocked you in your love life. Maybe you've been doing a lot of, and I think something similar came up. I don't know if it was for Scorpio or for one of the fire signs. No, it wasn't one of the fire signs. I can't remember which sign it was that it came up for. If you watched it, you can let me know in the comments. But you might have been doing a lot of work, or maybe it was Taurus. You might have been doing a lot of work in terms of like self-love. And like now what you bring to the table. Maybe before you had low self-esteem and you thought, oh, nobody's gonna want me. Now you're like, oh no, I'm a catch. But you might have this false belief where you're like, I know I'm a catch, but other people just can't seem to see it. I was born in the wrong time. I was born in the wrong era. I know what I bring to the value, but people these days don't respect it. People these days don't value it. Or I'm a great catch, but you know what? All the good ones are taken. You might have some kind of a false belief that's blocking you. And the Ace of Swords is saying that you're going to finally clear that false belief, and it's not going to be getting in the way anymore. And you're going to have victory in your love life. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign. Sometimes those might resonate more than our sun sign, or might add helpful extra information or messages. There is a link in the description that will take you to the playlist so that you can watch the other placements. They'll be easy to find. Also, there's a link in the description of the video that will take you to my scheduling page, calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. And let's see, what else? Weekly forecasts. In the weekly forecasts, I talk about everything other than love. So if you want to check out those, again, link in the description. As well as I do a card of the day on the channel. A lot of people like to start the day off with a daily message. So hopefully I'll see you in those videos in the comments. If not, I hope you have a fabulous September, and I hope that you'll come back to check out the October love readings. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a wonderful, wonderful September, my dears. Take care and be well.